Cameron. In a slowly decaying futuristic city, social class is determined by the amount of time you spend in a virtual world called the interface. Hi, my name is Emmanuel, and I am a creator of a comic book called Tales from the Interface. And this is my weekly show, in which I show you a little bit of a behind the scene thing. I show you my process. I show you how I ink, how I sketch, how I do everything that's needed to create my comic. So likes, shares, all that stuff is usually appreciated. It helps get my work around, and basically depend on you because I do this by myself. I have no big publishing behind me. I'm an independent author, so I do appreciate everybody's support on this. This week, I'm working on a cover commission for Morgan Quaid for his upcoming comic called a Whiplash. So Morgan came to me and asked me if I would do an alternate cover for his comic, and I really like the subject, which is a kind of a steampunk dystopian post-apocalyptic dream city, which pretty much it's all the right notes for me. So I said, "Oh, that looks like a cool project," and then we came to an agreement, and I started working on it. I can show you a little bit where I came from in the beginning. So these are the first kind of sketches I did. So I went around and thought of a lot of different composition, what I wanted to do, and then I came up with four different layouts, and I said, "All right, this is what I came up with. What do you think?" And then he chose one of them. I'll start sharing my screen now. So this is where I am at now. I still have the old ones, the old sketches. Actually, I should have prepared this better, but I can't believe I can show you if I go to the conversation I had with him. And my browser is freaking out. All right. I want to show you quickly what I came up with originally. So this is the first concept, and second concept, third concept, and yeah. So that's what Morgan went with, and then from that I said, okay, good. I worked on the pencil, and this is the pencil I gave him for approval. Once this is done, I basically had to go ahead to continue. He gave me some ideas on what kind of colors he would like, and this kind of thing. Some kind of some direction. Like he said, maybe the city needs to be more dirty. And of course, this is not the end. I do add a lot of details in the inking, so I did plan to make it a little bit more dirty. But yeah, so all good stuff. He seemed pretty happy about it as well. So it's a fun project. I'm very happy that he put his trust in me about this. And yeah, so today I'm mostly done with it. So for the next hour, I'll be really trying just to add more shadows, because I'm not entirely finished with it. I started to add some shadows a little bit everywhere, but I'm not quite done. So it's a bit confusing because there's many shadow, many light sources in this. So, but I'm trying to kind of get the most out of it. As you can see, there's a ton of layers as per usual. I'm hitting the 100 layers here. And then I go down. I try to separate the different layers. For example, like the front character is in its own layer. Some special effect. I just put the title. This is not the final like title or anything. It's just something to kind of save the space. But when I work, I turn it off and on just to get an idea. I keep special effect like the lighting in its own layers as well. Sometimes I create layers and I don't do anything with them, as is the case here. So when I find them, I try to erase it, but you need to be careful because sometimes it's simply just not obvious. And then one thing I like to do a lot is create atmospheric perspective. So what this is maybe a layer of oh, this is lighting, I'm sorry. So I like to put the gradient on top, a lighter gradient on top and darker gradient at the bottom, so you can see this character here. What it does is just give him a little bit more of a 3D effect on him, makes him a little bit more interesting, and all he is entirely contained within this this layer. And so when I turn it off, you can see the my back color is this kind of yellow thing that I did. It's its own layer here somewhere at the bottom here. Yeah. One thing I could do is turn this entirely black, and then you can see that I forgot to paint some pieces. Anyway, or turn it off entirely. Well, I'll see as I go along. I might do that because I see when I turn it black that I actually forgot to paint some pieces. So that's not bad. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn it to like some really weird color, like this, and then I can spot which pieces I did not color yet. And then at the end, I can always like turn it back to that, and you know. Okay, so I'm just gonna go down slowly the layers and try to improve what I can. So put back the guy. And then so CC is on his own layer, so that allows me to put like some gradient behind him to kind of separate him more from the front and back. I mean, another thing I do is give him a like a darker color for the for his stroke. I like to have at least one element on a page that is pure black. And I do this because usually printers will need some black somewhere to kind of balance the colors correctly. If there is no black on your art, I see more often than not that they will take the darkest color and assume that it's black, and that will really screw up your work. Okay, so let me continue going down. So background 1, I like to lock my ink as well. You can see without the ink what it is. It's kind of interesting to, you know. Color burn, so that's my shadows, and I think for my first background, the shadows are pretty much what I wanted. And then this is the colors themselves. So I can see that I forgot the eye, but actually I kind of like this red on the eye of the mouse, but I think it's a bit too red. It's gonna come out weird. So what I'm gonna do is just maybe paint red, but just tone it down a little. Yeah. Because this red will won't work well. So I'll just erase this here. I wasn't quite done with the shadows. Now that I look at it, so I can touch that up as well. So maybe finish the shadow on the ear. Put some on the bottom. Turn off this, and I can see the little red specks. Some missing colors here as well. Oh, and here. I'm just quickly going in and just cleaning up the little specks. It's probably not like terribly necessary, but I don't know. I'm just oh yeah, so this is another layer. It's the road. I could have done it all in the same, but I made it separate. Sometimes I'm not sure how I'm gonna handle things, so I kind of go more hardcore than I need to. Okay, so I think for BG1 I'm fairly done. I might add some more detail if I have time later. Some graffiti, something. But I do have some shadows in the further layers that I want to get to. So this is one layer of atmosphere that I put. It's just after background 1, and you can see if I turn it on what it is. So it's really just adds a layer of dust in the air, and that really helps to make the piece deeper. And it compounds to another one that you're gonna see later. So this is the first one. This adds a bit of depth. Yeah. So now this is this girl here, and this girl is I worked a lot on her already. I'm not sure that I need anything else. And then this is the other guy in the back. He's also done, I believe. Okay, and then this background here. I can add a little bit more shadow probably. So I don't see much shadow on it. Where did I put it? Ah, I did the top part, so that's where I was. Okay. So to do shadows, I like to use the lasso tool and just select the zones I want shadow on. So here. See, I don't need to care too much about the horn of the girl because she's on a layer in front of it. But I do see that I forgot a little piece of her horn that wasn't colored. There you go. So going back to this, so my shadow, and also for my shadows, I use a dark brown that I use for the strokes everywhere except for the guy. So my shadows are always not exactly brown, the black. They're kind of a warm brown, which I think makes it. I don't know. I landed on this kind of tone, and I thought that it looked good for the strokes, and then I'm using the same for the shadows. I don't want the shadows to be darker than the stroke. That would look really weird. It's probably too much here. Just want to add a bit shadow under the posters here. Maybe these specks on the wall can be. One thing I landed to was that I didn't really need to add a lot of highlights in the style that I'm having right now. I found that I can work with just shadows and colors. Sometimes if something is really reflective, I will add more shadows. Generally, at least for the last chapter of my comic, I thought that this was kind of enough. So a little bit of shadows here and there just to add some interest to it. Want to turn on my channel on the side just to check out if there's any messages or anything. So that's looks good. I think for this layer, I already came there, so it's normal that there's not so much to do left. So I started on this one. Maybe just add some here, some shadow like this. And I can see some part wasn't colored, so I can do that at the same time. There's no reason to add a lot of shadow in this one. Maybe a bit on top. I think I'm lacking a bit of detail as well. I can add some. One quick thing I like to do is just add some little strokes here and there, just to kind of make it more lived in. Doesn't need to necessarily be a lot, but I think having these little specks, it's a little detail that adds a lot, I find. So there is some color missing here. I'm gonna fix that at the same time. There you go. Back to my color shadows. Maybe add am I in the right layer here? No, I'm not. Here, right? No. That's what happens when you have so many layers and you don't name them. You get confused which one you're at. Oh, so this is background 3, I believe, or 2. 3. Okay. So this should be, yeah. Okay. All right. I want the shadows of this. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so shadows like this. And I have a lamp here. I can give it a little bit of a shine. So we create another layer here. Just sample this, make it brighter, and use the spray and try to maybe lighter even. And I want to put it on top of the ink. Yeah. Maybe reduce the size to something smaller and maybe pure white. Like this, and then I can play around with the opacity of it and just add some interest to it. And you see, I think it helps to keep it more interesting. There you go. Now I'm gonna want to lock my ink and then the road. This is the road in front. I think I'm mostly done with it. Just making one last pass. So it's all this, so maybe here. Am I? This is the road. I don't think this should be here. Yeah. This should be here because it's a whole road thing. Yeah. Okay. So just add some 3D effect to the tiles. So I can paint the other ones in back because this is another set. So I'm just trying to maybe finish up this, and it was pretty done. Just having a quick look over, see if there's anything else. Maybe this here. This. All right, that's pretty good. Going down. So we're reaching another level here with that kind of alien thing. And then I have my neon effect, the inks on this, and then the colors. So this color, I only did the color, I did not do the shadows yet, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. First off, I want to correct this, and then this is when the atmosphere becomes annoying, because if I sample from there, I'm gonna catch it. So I disable it for the time being. This is linked to this specific guy, so I don't need to. I just want to have the pure color without being affected by the atmosphere. So now I'm done. I'm on the color layer, and I zoom in a little bit. Then, you know, having my crazy pink color helps me to see some of the mistakes. I can fix that now. I can color those little lines. Maybe touch up a few things. How's my guy? He looks good. Maybe here. No, that's probably wouldn't show. But let's try to fix as many things as I can. So the whole road it's its own separate layer. So I'm gonna have a look at that afterwards. But basically, I think the guy is. It's pretty good. So basically, if I remember correctly, yeah, it covers the rest of the piece, so I can fix that now. And then I'm seeing something that I forgot on the other one, so let me go back up a bit. Here, okay, just fix the chimneys. And maybe the shadow a bit. Add this in. Make it more interesting a bit. Okay, go back to my last color layer and fix those little specks here, and here, and here, and here. Especially the top seemed a bit looser. I do have trouble with keeping my look at the horn, how bad it is. Totally didn't notice that part. I'm gonna have to go back to my horn girl. Color that piece I didn't before. Just finish this first. Make sure that this whole section is finished correctly, but I see a lot of mistakes here, so I can fix that now. So I'm gonna go back up. Where are you? Here. Bloop, 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 bloop. There's no saying that it would show when printed, especially since I have a kind of a neutral layer underneath. It would probably be fine. I'd rather not take a chance if it's all the same. Here. Doesn't take that long to fix anyway. I mean, Clip Paint does a very good job already. Just maybe sometimes, you know, it can be a question of adjustment, but then every shape is different and you need to adjust for every shape. So I kind of take some general setting that I had, and then fix what doesn't work. You can play around with the settings so it doesn't do that, but from my experience, it doesn't always work. So. Okay, I think she's good now. Let's see him. So he has some pieces missing as well, like this here, and then that's when they're saying that digital can make you a bit nuts, and that's why. It's hard to judge if something will show up that much. I don't think it would. But this is a paid commission. I really want to give him a good job and nothing to. Okay. Let's see, the boots look pretty good. There's some specs on the road that I need to look at after. I'm gonna get there. But I think those two guys, maybe there's a little bit here that I didn't do. It looks weird. Yeah, all right. Okay, so let's go back. Is that it? Yes. Okay, anything missing here? Here. Okay. I think I can go ahead and create my shadow layer. So shadow layer, I try to log the transparency on only that piece. I will put it at 30% on average. And you can play around. I like color burn. I think it creates a warmer, more interesting shadow because black shadows look bad. So I found that this created a better look for me. Sometimes will vary and create a darker, like a 40-50% instead of 40, instead of 30. It depends. I see what works. Again, I always use a brown rather than a black. The back draw of using color burn is that it doesn't really work for some shadows. Some colors, when you do color burn on them, it doesn't really show up, and that sucks. That's when you can adjust, create maybe another layer and make it darker. So this guy, there is a neon sign that shines on him from the right, from his left. I can create some effect on him like this. I think overall is the bottom will be darkened. I can do that. Sometimes I'm too shy with the shadows. I need to think about that more. Do I need to show something? Should I put it entirely black? I need to work more on my contrast. And the beer bottle here is a good example of a highlight that I can do that would probably bring some value here. And man, time flies so much. It's already 11:13 and I thought I would be done, but there's always something else. I probably spend way too much time on these things. And it's probably why I'll never be able to make money out of my art, because I like to make it perfect. And there is no such thing as perfection. So we're all doomed. But I think that I will be finishing this today. And there might be some little things, but overall, I believe it is done. Once I'm finished the shadows, maybe I want to add some graffitis on the wall or something. Okay. This is good for him. Just go here now. I see a speck of red there. Fix that. That's good. And this Actually, these in the back, I think they should be darker than this. Even darker, or even black, maybe, but not black. But how does that look? I think that looks better. But I think for shadow, or maybe here a little bit. Oops. Okay. Oop, went too far. All right. Here. Looks pretty good. Okay, I think my shadow work is done. Now something to think about is that this is not the final size because there's always a protection. So let me show you. If I take this piece here, this is the Kablam template. Kablam is a company that makes that prints comics for you. So they're based in the US. I don't know if anywhere else, but a lot of people use their template as a size. So Morgan asked me to use that one, and you can see how it works. So you see live area is the space that any important element should live in. So if I lower the opacity, you can see like my characters are all within that. And then there's the trim area, which is something that will get cut off. So you see anything that's like part of the red zone won't be seen. So, and there's nothing really like important, as you can see. So anything that I do, it's kind of pointless to put a ton of details on this side. I can add, I wanted to add a little bit to the poster here. Maybe add some start of a drawing or some letters. Yeah, so let's do that. I'll put back my atmosphere so you can see with the shadows how it looks like. And I'm noticing that I didn't do the road here. Yeah. So let me maybe fix that first. And then there were some little, yeah, that's it. All right, let's fix this. I went and added the atmosphere a bit too quick. Okay, this is the flat cutter for the road. This will be my shadow, my 30% shadow. And color burn. All right. First off, let me fix the little specks. That was annoying, those specks. Oh, there's one on the shirt of the guy. Okay, here. This was not done correctly. Here. And that's it, I think. Here. All right, cutter. Just I think I'm gonna add a shadow like this here, like probably like from the street. There's some some light coming out or something like this. And then within the cracks of the tile, maybe just add a bit more like this. And some here, here. Here, like this. Yeah, just add it. Just make it a little bit more interesting. I noticed a speck that's bogging me. There's a speck on his arm. Well. One last check. I don't think there's anything else, but yes, there is. All right. Let's see. Right? Yes. So it's the pointy part that sometimes will hide a little problem. Like that's where you need to look for these. But okay. Oh, here. I think it's good now. Okay. And going back, it's always like that, you know. You think you're done, and then there's another thing and another thing. There's one thing I wanted to do though, was this creature. There's an interesting neon here. So I wanted to try and add a some light effect from it. So I want to use the paint here, this airbrush, and use a blue or pale blue, like this, and then try to. It's gonna be. He's not separated from the rest. Easy. Okay, so what I can do is to select color gamut. It helps if you're I believe it helps if your ink are not open. Well, it didn't work. Okay, try again. Select color gamut. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Okay. Here. Oh, there you go. Okay. So now I can just, you know, spray that, and I can even turn on my lighter than this, just to give him some. And I can do it to the lines as well, but I want to do it to the. First of all, to the. And I can erase, you know, to create a. So I think this can add some interest, make it more interesting. And then I can go in and kind of erase some parts of it. Maybe. I haven't played with that too much, but I'll just I think it's kind of interesting. A bit more 3D. And then I can also do it to the ink, and I'm not sure what this is gonna do. But I can like put a transparency, black transparency on top of the layer, and then use my airbrush to kind of tone down the ink a little bit. So it's using the neon light, and I can, you know, just maybe something like that. I can lower the opacity of this and play around and see how it looks. Not that bad. And maybe the insect eye is interesting to add additional light to it. But I want to use a something like that. Maybe lower the opacity a little bit. Yeah. So that's kind of nice. Can also try to add some of this effect. Like this. And I can add it also to the octopus in the front. Since I'm here and I thought about it, let's do it. Maybe lower the opacity a little. There you go. Okay. And I thought I saw something here, and I did. And I'm probably becoming crazy. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I think I did all the specs, so I can just disable that just for safety's sake. All my layers are on. Yeah, I wanted to look at this poster here, see what I can do about it. Oh, but it weren't done. Well, guys, there you go. You know, I thought like 1 hour. Oh well, I'm not gonna have enough to do in 1 hour. But there you go. You know, it's so easy to lose yourself in these kind of projects. Once again, you know, thank you, Morgan, for giving me the chance to work on this. It's a fun thing, and I'm having a lot of fun working on it. I hope that that campaign goes really well. I'm gonna, you know, I have a few more hours. I'm gonna work a few hours tonight, and you know, if I can't finish that, then you know, there's a point where I've done enough, I believe. But I'll try to add more details into the poster, maybe a few graffitis, fix any little things that I can see. But I think this is a good piece. I'm pretty happy about it, and I hope that I will help the campaign. So thank you guys for being here with me today. You know, as I said, likes, shares, all that stuff is hugely appreciated. And if you are interested in my work, I have 3 books available for sale right now on my website. If you go to tfti.inkorporate.com, the link, it's written at the bottom of the screen here. You can get all 3 books in one easy package and save a lot on postage. And you also have the option of me making you a custom sketch inside, and I do spend some time on these to make each of them special just for you. Besides that, that's pretty much it for today. I hope you have a great time. It's a bit rainy here today, sadly, but we'll do some project inside and have fun. And I wish the same for you. So thank you, and I'll be there. I'll be here next Saturday, 10:30 as always. So bye guys, and see you around the interface.